Coming up on this episode of In the Line of Duty, we're going to deploy firefighters into the water.
Hi, I'm Bob Eibner. I'm a lieutenant with the Farmington Fire Department. Currently our firefighters are in the classroom learning about ice rescue training. They're going over our SOPs, the EMS portion of it, and the basics on ice rescue. This class is being taught by an outside instructor from Rescue Packs, Dan Bernardi. After the classroom portion, we'll be going out to the pond and actually getting into the water through holes cut in the ice. To set up for the training this afternoon, we had to go out to our pond where we decided to have the outside portion and cut 8-foot triangles in the ice. We cut 2 triangles. The ice was close to 18 inches thick, so we cut it with a chainsaw and pushed the smaller blocks underneath the ice to open up the hole. In Farmington, we do our ice rescue training because we do have many ponds and lakes. Plus we have the Vermilion River that flows through our area. At Farmington Fire Department, we train the first 3 Mondays of the month. Varies on what we're training on. Everything from deploying hoses to structure fire type training to water rescue ice training. That is all that we have for this portion of the show. Now we will go to the Chief's chair.
Hello, this is Chief John Rechtzigel with the Apple Valley Police Department. Been an interesting week here in Apple Valley, specifically this past Wednesday. We had 2 of our officers sent on a call involving a woman in labor. It was one of those exciting calls where they arrived on the scene and the woman was definitely in labor. In fact, baby was coming, birth was imminent. And we had 2 of our officers, Karen Shaw and Casey DeYonker, were both there assisting with the delivery of the child. It got me to reflect a little bit about how lucky I am to work in this department and with the staff that I have. And I want to just spend a couple of minutes talking about some of the extra activities our officers are involved with that you may not be aware of. One of the first activities I'd like to touch on is Feed My Starving Children. This, you're probably familiar with, is packaging food for people around the world just to help the needy folks. We have a team of officers the last couple of years that assemble, and it's voluntary basis, and we go out and actually have a lot of fun working as a team, packaging food to be sent overseas. Yet another one, Shop with a Cop. Officers actually come in on their off-duty time and meet with needy families at some of the local retailers and take children around the stores shopping for items that they would like to have for Christmas. The Armful of Love campaign, if you're not aware, provides gifts around the holiday season to needy families. Great opportunity, again, for team building, having some fun, and even getting a little bit of a workout in. Wonderful experience. Polar Bear Plunge. Now, this is a fun one we've been participating in for years. And this helps support the Special Olympics. Talking about the Special Olympics, this past year we were fortunate enough to host the Special Olympics here in Apple Valley. These athletes are so special and so grateful for their opportunity to come out and compete, and then to have police officers there in uniform. They're just thrilled to be around the cops. Now another event I'd like to talk about is Law Enforcement United Road to Hope. Apple Valley, for some reason, has a very strong contingent always participating in this event. It's been going on for years. In fact, I did participate myself this past year. Those are the coordinated activities, but I'd like to touch on just a few of the individual things that are going on. There's a coaching opportunity in their youth sports that their kids are involved with, or even in some cases their own kids aren't even participating anymore. We also have scout leaders involved in our in scouting, both the police explorers and otherwise. Very proud to know that our people are engaging the community and supporting those that we serve. Just in closing, I just wanted to illustrate some of the activities our officers have been involved with. And I think this demonstrates the service-mindedness of them. And I want to really reassure you that our officers possess that mentality very strongly, and they have an undying commitment to our community and are going to continue to support Apple Valley and the surrounding communities in this way. Thank you.
Rosemount Fire Chief Rick Schroeder here. Today we're going to talk about EMS response. I often get asked questions in regards to EMS response and who our paramedics are, and we're going to clarify some of that today. First, we'll do a little backdrop on our response and how we respond to certain types of calls. We have several levels of calls, and they're broken out in Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, and Echo calls. And we respond to a certain number of Charlie calls, all Deltas, and all Echoes. And in 2016, we responded to roughly 720 all-around calls, and the vast majority of those were medicals. And in Rosemount here, we have a ambulance provider, Health East Healthcare, provides all of our ambulance service. In 2016, they responded to a little over 1,119 calls to our city on all levels of the calls. And they broke out, on the most part, for an average of 25% in each category, with the exception being Echo. Echo calls, they were just under 1% for a response in 2016. When we get a page for a medical, we respond to the fire station. A lot of times when I give tours at the fire hall, people ask, where do the firefighters sleep? Well, we don't actually sleep here, we sleep at our houses. We have a response 24/7, 365 days a year, and we carry fire pagers, and we're toned out from the Dakota Communications Center. When they receive a 911 call from you, they code it a certain level depending on the priority and what level of medical emergency it is. And once they code that, then they decide who's going to respond. And if it falls into that Charlie, Delta, or Echo response levels, we then get paged out, respond to the fire stations, and at which point we get on the rigs and run to your house. Our average response time is somewhere in the range between 4 and 6 minutes from the time we get paged out. And you can expect a response from Health East Ambulance somewhere around 8 minutes. Things have gotten much, much better over the years in regards to response. As the city grows, so does our call volume, in which turn Health East has ramped up their efforts in their response by positioning a truck in one of our stations, Fire Station 1 on Shannon Parkway, and oftentimes we'll rotate that truck back in when that one gets paged out to a call. There are times when their coverage area is a little bit further to the north of us because we are the southernmost response area for them, and their response time can be delayed. That's why we get paged out to your house so we can intervene on any kind of medical emergencies and make sure we do our best to stabilize with our abilities the patient until Health East Ambulance can get there. I hope this answers some of your questions in regards to the ambulance service and how things unfold when you dial 911.
We've now moved out to the training site. We've cut 2 holes out in the pond, and we have 2 different scenarios going. One scenario, the rescuers are going into the water, doing a self-rescue just to get comfortable in the suits in the water. And then they perform a reach rescue and then go into the water and rescue the victim. The second scenario we do is we use an inflatable raft to push out to the hole and rescue the victim. This training is very valuable for our department. We do have quite a few ponds and lakes. Right now, with the ice being 20 inches thick, we don't have too much of a hazard of people breaking through the ice and having to perform an ice rescue. But earlier in the winter, and then once it starts thawing, there's quite a hazard around that we have to take care of.
Well, it was kind of cold, but as soon as you got in there, you know, you weren't really thinking about the temperature really. As soon as you got in there, all the suit that you had on, all the air came up to the top of the suit, so you felt like you were a flotation device. I had a lot of fun out there on the ice. I learned a lot today. Hands-on training is great, just learning all the new techniques and stuff. And this is the second time I've done this, but it's been 4 years since I've actually had the suit on. Getting out there and getting in the water was a great experience tonight.
That is all for this part of line of duty. Now we are going to department reports.
Hi, I'm Kendra Wubben with the Rosemount Police Department. Recently we have been bringing in some new officers into our department. Officer Joseph Hawkinson was sworn in at the November 1st council meeting. He had his mother pin on his badge. Also with the new officers, we have promoted an investigator to sergeant. Sergeant John Winters was sworn in at the January 3rd City Council meeting, and he is currently working with the patrol officers. Speaking of Sergeant Winters, he was present when the Rosemount Police Department took some kids shopping a couple of weeks before Christmas to buy some Christmas presents for their families. Here's a look at the Shop with a Cop program.
Hi, I'm Officer Julie Pulkrabek, and today is our 2nd annual Shop with a Cop event with the Rosemount Police Department. Today we are partnering with the Rosemount American Legion Post 65, McDonald's of Rosemount, and Target Corporation to take 21 kids Christmas shopping for the holiday season. These kids were chosen by Rosemount Police Department chaplains, school staff, administrator, and counselors, as well as officers of the Rosemount Police Department. Each child will have $100 to spend at Target on items they choose to buy for special people in their lives, as well as one item for themselves. This is our second annual event. Last year we sponsored 19 children. This year we are sponsoring 21. It was such a great success last year. We had a great response from McDonald's, the Legion, the children, the school staff, and the parents of the children. Today we have 21 kids. Due to the staffing levels, Rosemount Police Department also invited the Dakota County Sheriff's Department to participate. They will be sending 5 deputies to assist us. We will be meeting Inver Grove Heights PD at Target. They are also doing their Shop with a Cop event today with 10 children and officers from their department.
I'm Mike Dahlstrom with the Rosemount Police Department, and tonight I'm participating in our second annual Shop with a Cop event. When I started working with Julie, we sat down and we tried to think of some ways that we could get involved with the community. You know, not only when we're dispatched for calls for service and when we're paid to do our job, but what's a way that we can connect with the community to get out there and truly serve, you know, in a volunteer capacity. Develop public trust, work on some of those things that we don't always get a chance to do when we're answering a 911 call. So that's why I'm here tonight. I think to me this defines fulfillment for me and a lot of the officers. We've identified some kids or some members of our community that need a boost around the Christmas time, the holiday season, and this is our way that we can give back to them. And this is a way that I can get out and talk to kids more and, like I said, just make a positive, lasting impression on them.
Well, it's 2. Okay. 2 is required. A lot of officers now go for 4 years and get their bachelor's degree.
Okay.
And then take that state licensing test.
Okay, so...
And 20% off. So what does that mean? It's 1/5 of the price. So
that's
we can...
$16.
Nice. There you go. 16 bucks. Good job.
So we're at...
Good job.
I know. Trying.
1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, she's strengthening on feet. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
See, exactly. So, but it's kind of like what? Right? Was that might have been
no,
the
wrong leg. It's the opposite leg, isn't it? Is it the opposite leg? Yeah. So you dab and then you go this. Oh my gosh. What?
Alright, we're good. Couple more.
We did.
They did?
So you guys go in the bear cat?
I am here to help the kids wrap the gifts for their families. Officer Julie called me last year and was looking for donations, and we decided to get together and we asked if they needed any help. So we come on over with some supplies and we help out. We're playing Santa.
This is a great event that we see happening for years to come, and we thank the American Legion for once again sponsoring 15 children, McDonald's for sponsoring dinner for all the children and the officers, as well as Target Corp for being so accommodating to our needs on today's day.
That is all from the Rosemount Police Department. See you next time.
I'm Colleen Elvin, Lieutenant with the Apple Valley Fire Department, here to give you an update on the 50th year of the Apple Valley Fire. Fire Department was first established in 1966. The mission of the Fire Department is to reduce the loss of life and property. We do this by providing fire suppression, emergency rescue services, non-emergency services, and fire and safety education to the public. Much has changed over the years, and the department continues to evolve to meet the changing needs of the neighbors we serve. 2016 was our 50th year, a long history as a volunteer paid-on-call organization. 2016 was also our busiest year. We responded to 1,622 calls for service. This is an increase of 16% from the previous year. Firefighters also provided education, presentations, and tours at more than 70 events, reaching an audience of more than 33,000 people. We are looking forward to 2017, dedicated to the citizens and the visitors of the city of Apple Valley. Always call 911 for help anytime public safety response is needed, whether law enforcement, fire, or an ambulance. Call Fire Administration if you have general questions, need education, or would like to schedule a visit with the firefighters. Our phone number, 952-953-2600. You could email us at fire@applevalleyfire.org or look for us on Facebook, Apple Valley Fire Department. Thank you for watching.
Hi, this is Officer Kuyper with Farmington Police Department. We're here today in our Emergency Operations Center where we just received this week our new ballistic vests and ballistic helmets, which you can see behind me lined up. Each officer received one in the police department. What these are intended for is to prevent high caliber rounds from penetrating and hurting the officers. With everything going on out in the world nowadays, we want as much protection for the officers as we can have. Each ballistic vest and helmet was sized for each officer individually. And the last thing I want to talk to you about today is a grant or check that we received from the Farmington Business Association for medical kits to supply each Farmington squad car with updated equipment that we can use when on a emergency crash scene or medical. This is Officer Kuyper with Farmington Police Department. If you have any questions for us, you can always call us at 651-280-6700. That number again is 651-280-6700.
That's all for this episode of In the Line of Duty. We will see you next time.